Very good evening. You're watching NewsX and I'm Shivani Singh. We are tracking the latest developments regarding the war in West Asia and its implications across the world. And in the latest news, at least 11 people have been injured across central Israel after Iran fired missiles this morning. Several impact sites have been reported in Tel Aviv as well as Brak and Petah Tikva. Joining us on this broadcast to take the discussion forward regarding the war is Ambassador Suresh K. Goyal, former diplomat, and Surinder Singh Lali, who is a foreign affairs expert. I welcome you both to the show and I thank you for your time. We always appreciate it. Ambassador Goyal, if I can start off the discussion with you. You have been, discussing what this war actually means. If we've reached a point of no return, I want to understand Israel's perspective in this war, Ambassador, because Israel seems to have gone rogue. They seems to not be towing the line that US is trying to in fact set. And Israel seems to be intent on completing all of their objectives. One of them will be obliterating Hezbollah, and so they are seeing a lot of in fact strikes. They are facing all these strikes that are now affecting a lot of civilian infrastructure as well.
Absolutely, Shivani. Right from the beginning, I've been saying that in this war, agenda of Israel appears to be very different from that of the USA. The USA had laid down the various objectives, the stopping of the nuclear enrichment program. Just one day before the war began, on the 20th February, all indications were that Iran had agreed to the conditions that the USA had put. But still, they began to attack Iran. And the speculation at that time that it happened basically because of what Israel wanted. Israel was able to persuade Trump to do so. Later on, of course, there were also speculations that Saudi Arabia also wanted Trump to go ahead with the war. That was at that time. Today, even in terms of stopping the war, agreement to stop the war, today I hear that instead of the 15 proposals, Trump's White House is now saying that there are 4 objectives to stop the war, and those 4 objectives have been achieved, which basically means degrading their military facilities, Air Force, Navy, etc., etc., etc. But again, the attacks on Iran's military infrastructure, facilities, Isfahan, we know what happened there, continue. Attack on Iran's nuclear facilities continue. It is very clear that there is a lot of gap between what the US is saying and what actually happens, both from USA and Iran. I'm saying this context of what you said, that Israel seems to be in no mood to actually follow USA line on ceasefire or stop the war with Iran. My take is that first of all, it is very difficult to be certain that USA actually wants to stop the war, and what Iran is saying, that there is an uncertainty and it is difficult to understand what the USA has in mind, seems to be right. So unless you know what the USA is saying and that it is doing what it is committed to doing, difficult to really believe it.
And like you said, Ambassador, US in fact has stated that we've completed all the objectives, so they might just, get the exit that they want and leave Israel to it. But let me in fact bring in some more information coming our way. Israel has launched another barrage of strikes on Iran. In the latest news coming in, according to reports, a precision airstrike took out a 3-story building in Tehran. All right, let me go across to Mr. Surinder Singh Lali on this. Sir, we are just discussing as to the point where this war has reached. It's 1 month into the war, sir. Hostilities seem to continue. US seems to be on another tangent. It keeps on making demands, it keeps on setting objectives and then achieves it 48 hours later according to their standards. And Iran, Israel continue to bomb each other. The Gulf regions seem to just be affected and caught in the crossfire. The global world is looking at a lot of implications. So do you believe that there is a chance for negotiations in this war, or have we reached a point of no return?
Thank you, Shivani. Such a pleasure and honor for me to be here and with Ambassador Goyal. Shivani, allow me to take this from the top. Nobody is clear, be it the American public, the NATO allies, or the GCC countries, why this war started. You know, what was the purpose? You can only have an exit once you know that what was there to achieve. Shivani, Donald Trump is not quite a politician. We all know that. I mean, he's a businessman with an extremely checkered past. And in business, the kind of abilities you need to conclude, make transactions, or as Donald Trump says, I'm a deal maker. Unfortunately, despite being a checkered past, the skills that one needs as a politician, and especially when you are one of the most powerful individuals in the world, is absolutely different set of skills. I mean, the mercantilist Donald J. Trump can change in a heartbeat. I mean, he has been saying things and he himself comes up the next morning and contradicts himself. So getting back to your original question, Donald Trump has cornered himself. And Israel, who was very strong influence with the Lindsey Graham and the Jewish lobby and the AIPAC and somewhere also, the Epstein files, have gotten this into it. And now Donald J. Trump, America, and the state of Israel have both different agendas. Donald Trump wants to leave because now the heat is coming to his own home by the gas prices, by the inflation. And also the American people are not against it. There were millions ever since the Second World War, millions of people came out in America and protested this day before, which is called the No Kings Rally. So that's one. And number two, now what has happened is that it has gotten so complicated that Donald Trump first wanted his NATO allies to come, and they said, well, not our monkey, not our circus. You didn't take us into account while, doing this mammoth war, and somewhere, whosoever advised him totally underestimated Iran. I mean, Afghanistan, which is not even a patch, Shivani, on Iran, Americans spent $3.3 trillion there. And they went to beat Taliban, and they surrendered to Taliban. And in the process, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan fleeced them for $32 billion and left a mess in our part of the world, which is a different discussion for a different day. But now, if he's sending troops on the ground, which seems likely, America has gotten stuck into the escalation trap. They might have had tactical success by, air bombing as if they're playing a video game. But with IRGC, the way Iran is, the layers and the contempt the Iranians have against, Israel and America is not going to be easy. So they might have tactical success, but strategic success, I'm not too sure if they have it. They stirred the hornet's nest. Now the GCC countries are also, they don't know what to do. From the frying pan into the fire. Even they were not taken into confidence before starting this war. But now, without a choice, and they're back against the wall, they don't want America to leave an injured, angry, beleaguered, antagonized Iran who has tasted blood. So it's far more complicated for everybody now. And now that they want to leave, it totally beats my little intelligence. What are they leaving for, and what are they leaving with? So that's a billion-dollar question, and I just saw Pete Hegseth just 10 minutes ago.
Right.
You know, the Secretary of War, so much
Right.
for Nobel Prize. Even he didn't talk about uranium and the Strait of Hormuz, which are
Right.
two big issues. You know, he only talks about, you know, how we did so many attacks. But aerial attacks, if I was to conclude, Shivani, cannot do a regime change. And I'm not too sure in Iran if even that would be possible with a few Marines and a few people
Absolutely, very valid points over there, Mr. Lali. I'll come back and circle back to you on the boots on the ground question, but we have some information coming in regarding the GCC.